Hey, good morning. Day 23 on the Colorado Trail, mile 249. We just climbed up out of Angel Shavano campsite, and it was really nice. We had water there and privy and table, and it was a wet day and wet night, but we're glad to be back on the trail. Today's my wife's birthday, Leanne. Happy birthday, Leanne.
Happy birthday, Leanne.
Yeah, it's also the anniversary of the day we met, which was 46 years ago. So pretty much all my life, she's been a part of my life. I love you, honey. I was 19 and you were 16 when we met. So today is going to be a short day. We're going to be hiking to Highway 50 and going to be meeting somebody to go into Salida, and hopefully we'll have a few views. This is a nice little view behind us, and hope you enjoy the trail. Happy birthday, sweetie. Sorry I can't be there. I hope you have a good day. I miss you. And I'll give you love and hugs.
Hi, everybody. How we doing? Good. I'm Tony. I'm taking care of you guys. Of course. Anybody need a freshen up on
Those aren't fake. Those are real deer here in Salida.
So we're on Salida, and these guys just decided to lay down in a yard and graze. And they're not moving.
Hey, good morning. Day
Good morning.
26. August
6th.
6th.
Yep.
Just coming out of Salida, we got dropped off and on the trail. And we'll talk about Salida and our mid hike status and all that while we're hiking these next few days. But let's just say the stay in Salida was very nice.
Very nice.
The town's a very quaint town. It's very unique, and it was a very pleasant stay. We're definitely rested and rehabbed. Wouldn't you say there, Scooter?
Definitely rested and rehabbed and ready to get this second half
And
going.
you saw the pictures of some of the houses and stuff and what it was like. And we're going to be hiking shorter miles these next sections, basically throttling it back for two reasons. One, we decided to do that, as we do. And number two, we're adding an extra stop on the hike that we did not plan for originally in Gunnison. And we're finding probably one of the bigger challenges beside the trail is scheduling pickups
Yes.
to go into the town. And so we're throttling back, which will mean for us possibly shorter days, earlier camping, and maybe more video. What do you think? I don't know.
Maybe more video.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoy the trail here. We just heard from our driver. What was her name?
Debbie?
Yeah, Debbie said this is a super nice part of the trail. So, and she's lived here a long, long time. So we look forward to sharing it with you. And thank you for coming along with us as we hike the Colorado Trail, the ups and downs of the Colorado Trail.
Right. And just before we hang up, just a shout out to Debbie, because she was a great shuttle driver, very knowledgeable, very kind, and truly her heart was just to help out people. So anybody on here that needs to get to this around the Salida area, she's the one to call.
Yeah, Debbie's just a wonderful person.
Yeah.
5-star review for Deb.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for watching and joining us today. So Scott and I thought this bridge was kind of unique. Look how well constructed it is. Has a very nice railings and support. Then you look on this creek that it's over. Beautiful. So we're at mile 258.8. It's a good time to kind of assess the trail at the halfway point, give you some thoughts, observations, answer maybe some questions you may have. For me, physically, as far as muscle pain, and I don't have any. And I mean, I get tired, but don't have any particular muscle pain. My feet are doing well. I had a little small edge blister in my left front toe, but that's almost insignificant. It's not even bothering me anymore. So physically well. The continues to be an adjustment is I get out of breath. And even today we were hiking this long hill coming out of Salida, and I'm still getting out of breath. Not as bad as at the beginning, but it's it's a persistent thing. Not so bad that it makes me want to stop hiking, but we have to take a break or so. Observations on the trail. Of course, we've talked about how beautiful it is. It is this Collegiate East section reminds me a lot of hiking back east, in the Arkansas hiking we did, and but the trail is obviously different, but very similar, ups and downs. Not as so much as when we were in Breckenridge, Copper Mountain. That was kind of what I thought Colorado would be. So it's neat to have the various parts of the trail. The other thing about the trail is that Colorado is expensive. If you're going to hike this trail and you're going to do town visits, it's going to be an expensive endeavor. Obviously, there's lower cost ways to do it. Scooter and I are staying in Airbnbs, and we're staying some extra days and stuff. So, but it's just an observation that Colorado's a tourist town, tourist state, and especially in the around the mountains areas that we are. So it's going to be more expensive. If you can stay in hostels and you can skip 0 days, things like that, and reduce the cost. I'm just talking about if you were to do town visits, take zeros and things like that. And also, the trail is so active this year that everything is booked up, so you really don't have some of the alternatives to stay as you would before. But the towns are very, very nice. People are great. We budgeted for a lot of this, so that's the interesting thing. The other thing that I guess caught us off guard is how difficult to get shuttles. That's an ordeal, and the towns aren't close to the trail. So if you're going to do town visits, just trying to find shuttlers can be a challenge. I mean, and I think, again, it's in the past it probably wasn't a problem, but there are so many people on the trail. I think that's causing some pressure on the shuttling right now. But the shuttlers we've been on and with have been super nice people, and doing their best to help the hikers. So that was another observation, or really thing that we didn't expect, or we didn't know about. Equipment-wise, I'm very happy with all my equipment choices. I don't have a piece of equipment actually that I am unhappy with. I did carry a Tushy bidet, and it ends up the thing's worthless except for a night cup, and so I'm using a different bidet for so that I got way before, and that's probably the only piece of gear that I would say that I'm unhappy with. Tent pack, everything that I've got. I literally haven't shipped anything home. Pieces of clothing, I've been very happy. This sun hoodie I have on right now, you've seen it in many of the videos, has been a perfect piece of clothing because it protects me in the sun and gives me a little warmth in the morning. So equipment-wise, everything has been very functional. I started out the trail with a brand new pair of Ultras Lone Peak 5s wide shoes, and they have been like great. I'm just very, very happy with them. They're beat up in the toes a little bit, but that's it. I think as far as fall count, I think I've fallen 3 times. Once in the mud, once flat, and the other one where I caught myself. I probably wouldn't even be counted a fall. But been able to control things as far as that goes. Overall, the experience on the trail so far has been fantastic. Scooter and I haven't killed each other yet, so it's been great. We met some really neat people. We were in Salida. We had Doug and Amy stayed at the Airbnb with us, and they're just wonderful. We met a bunch of guys. I'll let Scooter talk about them on the day before. And the experience has just been a great adventure. Really seriously, I think the last thing I would say is I'm very, very thankful how we've been able to avoid the very hard storms here. It's amazing. We've only been rained on once, and they've had record rainfall while we've been on the trail. So I don't know what to say, but we set up our we set up our tent a couple of times with some sprinkles. We've eaten dinner with some sprinkles and crawled into our tent, and it poured down rain. So what can I say? It's been one of those type of things for us. But we're looking forward to the rest of the trail. We're over halfway done. It has taken more days than we thought it would, and that's basically based on our experience. Some of the things I've already told you about, getting shuttles, getting places to stay, things like that, estimating the time we'd finish, all that stuff. We're just new at it, and we've made a couple of logistical estimations that were not correct, but we'll get better at that as we hike more. So that's my mid-hike assessment. We came through here, and there were hundreds of butterflies flying right in here. It was amazing. I wish there's one. I wish I could have caught it live, but they were just engulfing us. And we're just hiking this little low trail in Colorado. Really beautiful.
We just literally almost climbed straight up on the other side to get to here. It's on the top ridge, that's what they call them, top ridge. But we are headed down to Marshall Pass from here. So that's what we looked at when we got to the top, and I did a pano picture going this way. There's Northwell. Come back to get a picture of that. But literally in the last 250 miles we've came from that direction. So glorious view up here.
Sorry about the wind, but I had to basically crawl on my hands and knees to get to the top here. Scooter was able to walk it up. It was almost straight up, but here's the reward. What a view. So, Scooter,
Yeah.
how'd you like that last little climb up here on the ridge?
It was like climbing up on the roof of the ladder, only you didn't have steps.
Or maybe a big sand hill with gravel trying to get up to a peak
Right.
at 12,000 feet.
Yeah.
I was crawling on my hands and knees at some points, and you made it up without doing that.
I just stayed in the middle and planted rock feet, but however you get up the thing, we were told that there was like a straight up and we didn't know what it was. That was it.
Yeah. Actually, we didn't take a picture of it, but up there at that peak where we got those panoramas was where the collegiate east and west split off.
Yeah.
And we're, of course, not split off, but joined together.
Yeah.
And now there's just one trail. Everybody's hiking the Colorado Trail now. So if you're going southbound.
If you're going southbound, yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
And I cut my hand on one of the rocks, but it doesn't look to be too serious.
Yeah. So congratulations to all the Easters and the Westers. We're now one.
That's right. On we go.
We just have been going down this road. As you see North standing there, we're heading down. This is, I believe, where we're going down in a few miles to our campsite. But this is the direction that we are heading. Just magnificent. Good evening. End of day 26 on the Colorado Trail. It was a really good day today. We had about over 10 miles that we hiked. We finished the Collegiate East, as we mentioned earlier, with a straight up climb. It was a appropriate finish to that portion of the trail. And but we got some great pictures up there, which we've already shared. And we are camped out here. There's one of the few shelters that are actually on the trail. We're not in the shelter. We used it to have dinner, but we have our tent set up over there to spend the night and get up and start fresh tomorrow. So just my take on the first half of the trail that we've done. When we reached Salida, that was just a little over halfway. Well, it is this. It was hard. It was very difficult the first few weeks for me. When we began, I was just a little over 3 weeks past COVID and beyond, just probably not being at my physical top best. I also experienced the altitude. The first few weeks had headaches quite a bit the first few weeks getting used to the altitude. And then when we left Breckenridge, we got caught in a big rainstorm one day and spent a lot of time in the tent. And that next morning, for whatever reason, when I stood up, my lower back went, and it was one of those where you don't know what's going on. Fortunately, I know some stretches, did some stretches. Norris prayed for me, and on we went. We actually did an 18-mile day that day. But I just had a little bit of pain and issues with my back. Today, actually coming out of Salida, we hiked and it was really pretty good. So I think I'm at the end of that too. Other than that, Norris mentioned equipment. My equipment is basically about the same as his. The tent, is the same, and had no issues with our tent and our gear. I think I had a few too many clothes myself, so I sent just a couple things home from Salida. But other than that, everything I've used, and it's been good. We have managed to, I think, get a handle on the calorie issue because we addressed it in Salida. We both had lost quite a bit of weight. I lost too much on the first half, and so we're trying to do a better job on the second half with that. But overall, I would just say the trail is super hard. We watched a lot of videos, and I don't know. It was slow going at times, particularly on the big 2,400 up climbs that we took a lot of time and had a lot of rest due to the altitude and just it being difficult. But we were hiking our own hike, doing our own pace, and we have every bit within us that we're going to make it to the end of this thing. So the towns have been different, really small and quaint. But good. We've been managed to get our resupplies, and as Norris mentioned, just we've had a couple days extra because of timing with shuttles and not knowing exactly how far we're going to go each day. We have a different type of plan on the second half, which we're going to try out and stick to, and we'll see what happens. But it really doesn't matter whether it takes a few more days to get it done. Their goal is to get it done, and I think we'll get that. So kind of my take on the first half. Again, we want to just thank you for watching us, and hope that you will continue to watch and join us on our trek to Durango, the finishing line. Thank you for watching. Blessings.